Hey, wonderful people. Thank you for being here and watching this video. We're going to talk today about just some basics of law of attraction. I think we get lost in the steps of law of attraction. So I just kind of wanted to make a simple to understand video. And I wanted to just be real. Like, if you're watching videos like this, you're really focused on making your life better. And that's the whole point of my YouTube channel. So I just wanted to invite you to subscribe and follow along and leave comments and tell me about what you're struggling with and, things you could use help with, because I've come a long way. I used to be a very negative thinking person. I struggled with money and relationships. And so I've gone through a lot in my life, and I think I can help you, and you can help me by just participating and being a part of this journey that we're all on together. We can help each other. And that's the point of my channel and why I love studying the law of attraction. I think if you help people, you're going to in turn be helped. And I think that you can offer a service to people, and in that exchange of energy, you can also be rewarded. The topic for today is the basics of law of attraction. And there's 3 steps in this process. First, you have to ask for what you want, believe that you have received it, and it will be given to you. And I think we've all heard that before. It's in the Bible. Jesus said the same thing. I think that Jesus was here. He's a healer, and he was teaching us how to live life the way that it is, the way it can bring us the most joy. So if you ask for what you want and visualize it and believe that you have received it, you need to be in agreement that it is yours. And in the agreement that the thing you have asked for is yours and you are worthy, you can receive it. You can't think opposite thoughts like, well, I want it, but it's not here now. I'll tell you what helped me understand this. I read Genevieve Barron's book. She was a student of Thomas Troward. Now, Thomas Troward has some books out. They're very old books. They're a little bit harder to understand, but Genevieve was his student, and she wrote a more simplified version of his teachings, and she calls it a spiritual prototype. So when you ask for something and you visualize it, the visualization process is the spiritual prototype. So when you ask, it is given. Abraham Hicks says the same thing. When you ask for something, Source answers. And the answer is always yes. And that gets confusing for people because they say, well, I've asked for things and it didn't come. Well, follow along here. You ask, it's given. And the reason that we don't receive certain things is we're not in alignment. We're not in the belief that we can have it, okay? And also, I have an underlying belief that everything's always working out for me. And so in that belief, if what I've asked for isn't the best thing for me, then I'm not going to get it because something better is coming. So that is a core belief with me, and I'm always open to that. I will say, I'm asking for this, whatever it is, or something better. And I know that the thing or something better I'm asking for is what is going to show up, because I can look throughout my life, and there's so many things that I have asked for that did not come. But what showed up instead was so much better than I had ever asked for to begin with. So there's a magic going on here. There is a magic in the universe, and it takes my breath away sometimes. It almost makes me weep. How loved we are, how provided for we are, and how everything is really always working out for us. I feel like I have this spirit team on the other side that's just taking care of me, and I'm their focus. And that fills me with so much joy to just visualize that and to feel that that's true. You may not think that's true for you, and that's okay. But know that there is an unseen force, unseen forces that are always helping you, always guiding you, and always helping you live your best life according to how you're believing that can happen. And so the point of this whole video is law of attraction, number one, is always working. So we need to be aware of our point of attraction or how we're feeling. Then we need to ask for what we want, believe we've received it, and in the believing of that, that puts us into alignment, okay, with what we've asked for. And the receiving of it, that depends on how much in alignment you are. So, for example, and everyone uses this example, but it's such a good example. When you order something from Amazon and you're a Prime member, you know that that's coming in just a few days, right? So you've put your order in with Amazon and you don't fret and worry about that order. You know it's coming. And sometimes if you are fretting, you can look and see, oh, there's a tracking number. I see it's in transit to be delivered, okay? But that sort of eases your worry a bit, right? But when you, and then it eventually shows up. When you ask for something, if you could just automatically know that it's coming, like, for example, today, I have asked for some sunshine and an easy work day and wonderful coffee and delicious water to drink and a wonderful baseball practice for my son. I've asked for that. It's going to happen. I believe it. Because it's important to me, right? And I've asked for also to be able to record a YouTube video that helps someone. So I know that somebody's going to watch this video who's been struggling with some law of attraction basics, and it's going to help you. But if we could just focus on what we want and not on what we don't want, that's all that we will ever get. So when you're trying to lose weight and you focus on the losing of the weight, but then when you're about to step on the scales and you start that doubting, and then you see on the scale that you only lost a little bit of weight and you really want, let's say you lost a half a pound and you had hoped in that week you'd lost 2 pounds, then you're focusing on the lack of the losing weight and it frustrates you. If you would just focus on losing weight without a huge expectation of how much, you will lose weight so much easier, because that holding on to that outcome of the losing the 2 pounds causes resistance and makes your struggle harder, which makes the losing of the weight harder. I just thought I would share that because I've had my own weight loss struggles in the past, and when I saw what I was doing and I changed the attachment to the outcome, the weight started coming off easier. You can apply that to anything else in your life. Let's say it's job related, or you want to get a certain type of job. If you would just if you would just ask for the type of job you want, like let's say you want to work at home position, then you would ask for that. If there was an inspired action to take, for example, filling out applications, getting on LinkedIn and looking for new positions, filling out those applications, if you would just know, okay, I've asked for this, I've done my inspired action, I believe that something's going to work out for me, eventually it will. If you just focus on, I'm so excited about my new work at home job. That's just an example that you can apply this to so much in your life. And, the asking, and when you ask, like a prayer that's a prayer. Pray to your Father in heaven. Ask, believe that you've received it. So when you ask and you visualize it, believing you've received it, it's done. And there can be joy found in the waiting for it to become a physical reality in your life, or a situational reality in your life. If you will just focus on what you want and not worry about how it'll happen or when it'll happen, it'll work out so much easier and faster. Think about this and start with small things and gradually work your way up to bigger things in your life. But I come from a really complicated childhood, a broken home. I found myself as a teenager supporting myself at age 16. I married the wrong person the first time. I struggled. I worked hard. I put myself through college. I had this belief I had to work really hard, and I did. And then I went through a terrible divorce. And through the terribleness of all that stuff and the things that I learned, I found law of attraction, and my life started getting so much better. And but it still took me, I was a slow learner about law of attraction. I tried to make it hard because I had been on that struggle bus so long in my life. But it really is as simple as asking for what you want, believing you have received it, visualizing you have received it, releasing the resistance to how it happens, releasing the having to do something. But if you have an inspired action, if you say, oh, if I do this, I think that's the next best step. Like for the previous example, if you're looking for a new job, you'll want to fill out some job applications, and you'll want to research certain positions, right? And then you just know that it's going to happen. The best thing's going to happen for me. However long it takes, everything happens in divine timing and in divine order. In the most simple terms that I can think of to say, law of attraction means that your thoughts become things, and your thoughts and your feelings are your vibrational set point. And how you're vibrating is what you will attract to yourself. So it's so important to always be aware of how you're thinking and how you're feeling. Clearly define what you want. For example, you can't just say, I want to travel more. You need to say, I want to travel, and I want to travel to New York City. I say this because I wanted to travel. I do want to travel, and I had never been to New York City. So I cut out a picture of New York City's skyline, and I put it on my vision board. When I put it on my vision board, I didn't have any travel plans in place. And little by little, everything started happening because I started believing I could go. And let me tell you, the biggest hurdle I had was the price tag attached to that trip to New York City. So I started believing that something's going to happen. Something's going to happen, and I'm going to be able to easily pay for that trip. And lo and behold, I got an unexpected tax return that was for the exact amount of my airplane tickets and my hotel room while I went to New York City. But I had to step out in faith and know that that was going to happen because I had asked for it. And I did an inspired action of booking my room and getting my airplane tickets, knowing that the universe had my back and everything would work out. And that is what happened. I had a wonderful trip. So glad I did it. It enriched my life. It was something I'd always wanted to do. And it was a wonderful illustration of law of attraction in my life. And so I'm sharing it with you. There's things you can do that will help you use law of attraction in your life. The first thing is journaling. I would get up every morning and write at least 10 things down that I'm grateful for. If you can get on a gratefulness rampage, it will just fill you with joy. So if you can think of, way more than 10 things, definitely write them down. Sometimes I fill up a whole page in the back of the page in my little notebook that I call my gratefulness book. Just this morning, I got so joyful about it. I was like, oh my gosh, why are we not focusing on joy every minute of the day that we can? Because that increases your vibration so much. So gratefulness and practicing gratefulness is a wonderful tool in using law of attraction in your life. Also, we want to visualize. We want to visualize what we want and see us as already having it. Don't see it in the future. See it as a now thing, because all we have is now. All we have is this moment in time, okay? See yourself having whatever it is you desire now. Or imagine someone congratulating you that you have it now. Don't see it as something happening in the future. And that is a huge tool in helping you get into the right vibration to use law of attraction for what you want. So journaling is so important. Write out, I always encourage everyone, write out exactly the way you want your life to be. Write out your feelings. Even when you find yourself in a frustrated feeling or an angry feeling, writing that out and then saying to yourself, how can I feel this opposite way? And writing out how you can feel the opposite way will help shift your energy when you're angry or frustrated. I do it all the time. It works. And then we're going to talk about acting as if. So if you don't know who Neville Goddard is, you really need to check him out. He is the king of acting as if. It's actually called the law of assumption. And all these universal laws, they all work hand in hand together. And acting as if goes with the visualizing the outcome of what you want. So you don't want to just visualize it, get up from your visualization and then being in the what isness of it's not here. You, like, let's say, if you want to manifest a cup of coffee, then you get up from your visualization of the coffee and you're just like, I'm so thankful for my free cup of coffee. I'm so thankful for how wonderful coffee is. And, just act as if you already have the coffee or whatever. I'm just using coffee as a simple example. You also want to clear your limiting beliefs. So I'm so guilty of this. And especially in the beginning of this, I would visualize and then I would be like, I did it with my New York trip almost, because I caught myself. I was like, oh, I want to go to New York. I'm going to go to New York. But that price tag, I wasn't happy with the price tag. And the price of the trip was a limiting belief. So then I started saying, oh, that is a limiting belief. The opposite of that is knowing that I can afford that trip, knowing that the money will come, and so on and so on. So become aware of your limiting beliefs and clear those beliefs. You are an infinite being. You are an extension of God. There's nothing you can't do. And God loves you. And if you ask for something, just believe you've received it and it will be given to you. Don't have limiting beliefs. And the last thing I want to say is consistency is key. This needs to become your way of living. Because when you flip back and have a bad day of negative thinking and negative self-talk, it just sabotages your outcomes. So decide going forward that you're going to live the best life you can live and focus every day on that. Thanks for watching. I hope that I have said something that's helped you understand law of attraction better. And please let me know if there's something that's confused you about what I've said. And Please subscribe, and I look forward to making more videos and helping you in any way I can. I really appreciate that you're here. Thanks for watching.